think we were in.
We were getting ready to start the edit and delete functions and client.
I think it's in the post display.
Okay, we were in the post display. Oh yeah, we're here. Okay, cool. So we got it. Is it everybody's code working that's following along?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's get going then. All right, so we put in a key. Okay, and then we have the post inputs where we have two buttons. That's what we did. So we did this.props.add post. Let's go ahead and also create another onClick for the save. Save post. That actually might not be. Let's see. Do I need it on props? I do need it on props, and I'll explain why. Okay. And so, because of this, I'm going to have to pass in these values. Values of the inputs. So I'm just gonna, I don't want to do, I could pass in state, that would be fine. So I'm just gonna pass in this state. So this will pass in an object, so all I need is one parameter, which sometimes you don't, it's unnecessary, but this will work great actually, because whatever, if we're editing, we're gonna get this ID. And we want that ID when we run this save post function. It just makes sense. If it's this add post, doesn't really matter. I mean, we can pass this in and just be undefined. It's not a ton. If it was like 20 lines of state that we don't want to pass in, then I would pass it in individually, or I would make another object up here. So then I can just pass that object in as one as one argument. But we're going to create these two, add post and save post, in post display. This is where we're managing all our posts on state. So that's where we need it. So add post, it's going to take in, I'm just going to call it post because that's what we're taking in a post. Format that. It's taking in a post. But why don't we go ahead and just destructure it? Because all we're going to need is title, image, and content. They're all going to be I. Remember, sorry about that. Since I'm destructuring it, they have to be exactly what I'm calling them, which is fine. Cool. And so with this, we're going to do an Axios call, axios.post. And our post method is simple and easy to remember. That's why I make it like how I do, API/post. Because we're posting, we know it's a post. But we know we need a object. So, and we know our rec.body is title, which will be the title I. So it's going to be image. And that's going to be equal to image I and content I. Content. So I did this because I could have made these title, image, content. I just wanted to make it. Actually, it might have been easier if I would have passed just 3 things into these. In fact, I think I'm going to change it. Sorry. It'll make it significantly easier. It'll be easier to read. Title I. Let's change this. Content I. And image I. Image I. And so if I go to add post, now I can just do this. The first one I know is title. Second one I know is content. content. Third one I know is image, because those are the placeholders for the parameters. And so then I can just get rid of all of this. Let's have content. It's just shorthand way of doing things, which is I like better. So that is the body. So then I don't have to do all that. It's just shorthand for key value pairs. It's just variables. It takes the variable name as its key. Then, whereas now we're going to set state because we set this, and I will do this for you guys. Close this. So we're going to need index.js. And I don't know who was in my who was in the after hours review yesterday with you? Or was it any of you?
I was.
Cool. Yeah. So I showed this in the after hours review. I'm also going to do the same thing. It helps understand an Axios call. And like its flow. I think it's important to understand. I'll go a little farther away. Is that too small? Can you guys read that a little at least?
That's good.
Okay. I will make it bigger after I'm done with this. I just want to make sure you guys.
Where did you define title, image, and content again? Sorry, I missed that part.
Title, image, and content. Okay. Yeah, no worries. I'll get this set up in 1 second. Make sure it's readable. Cool. All right. So title right here. So let me put the other one up here. Okay. So on post, we have an edit function. Oh, where was that? Can we see that? Oh, it's on inputs. Okay. So here, you can see okay. So here in post inputs, I'm running a function called add post, right? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's right over here. So, and then in post display, I have that function. So I haven't passed it yet as a prop, so I'm going to pass it right now. Add post.
Hey, Jordan, just want to make sure the recording is on.
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you.
Okay. So here you can see
Mic test.
that
Mic test.
I'm passing add post to post.
Mic test.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to get really up close to the mic for those on YouTube. That way I don't catch your keystrokes too much.
Oh, my bad. I actually have to make this, isn't it? Sorry, I'm getting confused. Jumping from launch to now. I need to display these inputs here first before I. Does that make sense? So I have to import. My apologies. Import post inputs from post inputs. Yeah, I was confusing myself. Okay, now we're gonna do post inputs. And this is where we're gonna pass in add posts. So you can see here, we have props on these post inputs, right?
Hmm.
And so that's where we're going to get this add post, is right from here. Okay. And so when we hit add post, what it's going to do, it's going to make an Axios call, right? But we set up all the inputs because we have inputs. So now we can go ahead and check this out. I don't have it open up anymore. There it is. Okay. So the handle change is not defined. That's fine for now. Let's just do this. Dot change. 6. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Now it'll be defined. Okay. So we look at the bottom. There we can see our values. So what these are going to do, it's going to update this state. So this is title input, content input, image input. Don't worry about this right now. We're not working on editing functionality yet. And so when we click this button right here that says submit, this is the submit button, that is going to run this function. So that submit right here is going to run that function. So that's adding. So once I type in hello and then an image and content, and I hit submit, it's going to run that. And so we haven't finished that function yet completely. Fine. Yeah, so we have it. So those values are right here. I'm defining them as parameters.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Does that make sense? Those aren't values yet.
Mine was
These
still
are the values.
destructuring them.
Yeah. We were destructuring them, but I would rather just send a body like this. It's simpler and easier to read like this. Because we know these are key value pairs. Content's key is content, is the value of content. I mean, is the content, and then the value is whatever the variable's value is.
I think in about like around 2, we have a meeting with Brittany.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and so we'll just keep going ahead, and then you'll just catch up because they shouldn't take that long.
All right.
Cool. All right, cool. So that's all working. Let me set state. So, I wanted to show. So when we run this Axios call, we're going to go, it's going to hit the index.js right here. It's going to find this post request. It's going to run add posts. So then we go to the controller. The controller, add posts. It's going to do, it's going to unshift those values into our data.js. And then it's going to increment this ID. So the next time we add, it'll be a unique ID. And then we're going to send a status of 200 and send all of the posts. And so when we send all the posts, it's going to have the updated post on it. So that means we want to just set state. So let's go ahead and set state. This dot set state. And so the state will be posts. And the post will be equal to res dot data. Okay, so hypothetically, this is complete and should work. But what I want to do, I'm going to copy this just before we try it. I'm going to console log all of those. Put this in curly braces, make those objects key value pairs so we know what is what. So let's go ahead and do that. In fact, I think I'm going to put the inputs on the top, so I don't want to keep doing that. All right, cool. So I'm going to get a real image too, so we can see if it actually works. The image works. So let's go to. Have you guys heard of Unsplash?
Ash?
Nope.
It's a really cool site, because a lot of times if you, let's say you actually make a site that actually gets some traffic, people will see your images, and if you just use a Google image, it might be copyrighted, and then you can get sued, take it down, and that's just annoying. But Unsplash is free. It's for like developers that like, oh, I just want a random photo. I don't want to have to mess with anybody. It's called unsplash.com. Has good photos. Obviously, doesn't have as many photos as Google, but it definitely has good enough photos for my liking, at least. That's just a recommendation. So let's paste
That's
that.
cool.
Houses. And then let's do something. Let's do random paragraph. This one. No, that's not relevant, but that's okay. Cool. And I'm gonna hit submit. Oh, there it is. It worked. Wow. I am so proud of myself that it actually worked.
Yeah, when you're on teacher, I'm in charge. It better work. It needs to work, and it does. Yay!
It's so surprising. Usually I always run into at least one bug with all my endpoints, which I still may, but as of right now, I've had zero issues. So I'm proud of myself. One of the next things also I would like to do when I run this function is I need to go back to post inputs. I want to restart the input. So I'm going to create a function called add, since that's very unique. I'm going to take this function and submit. I'm going to take this. I'm going to move this up here, and then I'm just going to have this be add. Cool. And then I'm going to also this dot set state to this. Cool. That's it. So let's try this again. Fresh is not defined. Okay. Oh, no. That's okay. Okay. Let's go another one. Hello world. Looks like we lost our what's it called, but that's because not in the database. Let's go back to Unsplash. Let's get another cool one. World. That's a good picture. Image will be that. Content will be random parent. Let's do a different one. Here's a random sentence. I can't copy for that. All right. Let's do that in there. And then there it is. Worked again. So that's cool. That works. All right. Now comes the harder part still. So with this, we want it to toggle, right? So why don't we make this toggle? But first, why don't we style this a little so it's not so hideous? Make this an ID equal to, oh my gosh, can't type today. Let's make this form. All right, now we already have the CSS file, so let's do this. Form, input, form. All right, so what should we do? We should just make all the, let's see how we have it set up. Let's put it to the right. I just like seeing this. Okay, so we just have input, 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 button, button. Okay, so we want to do display flex. Let's see what that does. I think we want to do flex direction column. Let's see what that is. Should work. Should work. What am I doing wrong, guys? Oh, there it is. Cool. No, that's not it. What the heck? Everybody know what I'm doing wrong? Didn't import it. Import. Import. Post input. CSS. Cool. There it is. That's hideous though. Holy crap. Let's make the width. Let's do 45%. Okay, cool. And then we'll do, I guess we'll just do a line self center. That didn't work. Nice. So I have to make an outer div, unless somebody has a better idea. Div input container. And now I have an input container. Yeah, I can make 100%. All right. Plus, and why am I doing that? Wait, 100%. Display. But line items. What the? Anybody know why that's not working? Input container. Oh, is that the heck? Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's inside. Here. It's inside the header. No. Oh, it's this. Okay. Oh, I'm not getting the input form. Let's make this class name. Oh, I know. It's just by content.
I always get those.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I've been doing CSS for a little bit, so, but just wanted to get that there. And
Does anyone know how we get into the meeting that we have at 2?
I don't.
Oh, Zoom. Okay, never mind. Thanks.
All right, cool. I just wanted to get that good. And so let's do so there's going to be something else on state right here. And it's going to be the toggle. I'm just going to do add A or E. So add or edit. I'm just going to do or. That's kind of ugly, but that's okay. I'm going to start it off with false. I don't want it to show until I click on a button. Okay. Now let's do a terminator right here. So we're going to do this dot state dot toggle add or edit. And then I'm just going to do a and. Actually, I'm going to do a question mark. And then I'm going to do a button. Button that is going to do add. It's going to say add. That would be good. Do like this so it's a little cleaner. Okay, cool. So those are the two options that we're going to do. So since it's false, that this isn't going to show up. So that's not there, but add is there. So the on click is what's going to change this functionality. On click will be equal to, honestly, I'm going to make a function up here first. But let me just write this out for a second. So it's going to be this dot toggle. That's going to be the function name. Just going to run it. Toggle doesn't do anything. All it does is this dot set state. And what it's going to do, it's going to go to toggle add or edit equals bang this dot state dot toggle add or edit. And so all it's going to do, it's going to flip it. It's going to make it the opposite. So this should work now. So see how it worked? Okay, cool. And so now I'm able to actually pass this down to a different function. So I can go, and I need to pass it because I have, like in my post inputs, I have a save, like a submit button, and that needs to run in this.add. Okay, so I'm going to pass that. And so since I did an arrow function with this, where's the toggle? It's in here. Oh, I do an arrow function, so it's down to this state. So since I'm doing that, and I'm going to pass it into this, toggle equals this dot state, it's this dot toggle. Since that's there now I can go to post inputs, and on this add functionality, this is what I want to do. Yeah, this on this dot add, this dot add. I want to make that disappear, right? So this dot props dot toggle. Or in fact, it'd actually be better if I, since I have this add post, I can just put it in the dot then. So I don't want it to disappear if there's an error, right? So instead, I'm going to put it in the dot then. I'm going to get rid of it in there. Should have done that. Does that make sense why I would do that? Does anybody have any questions why I would do that rather than do it right after I click on the button?
Nope.
Okay. So in the dot then, let's see where that ends. Okay, right there. This is the code block. Okay. This dot toggle. Okay. So only when it's successful, it's going to hit the dot then. So then I want it to disappear. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and add. All right, we're adding, and I'm going to make that hover over everything, and I can make it position fixed. So then you can scroll still and see everything, but it will be a pop-up. So let's try this. Hope this works. Let's go to Unsplash. Search. Broken. See it. Content. I'm going to break it sooner or later. So it went and it worked. Everything's good. Wow. That actually looked pretty good too. Awesome. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay. Now that we have that, let's go ahead. I do want to make it more of like a position property. I'm going to do position fixed. And so that's just going to be in the middle. Fixed. And that will be, I want it to be top. Just want it to be in the middle. Let's do 45%. See what that is. Yeah, puts it right there. And so now I can give this shading. How do you do shading? Does somebody? I usually have to look up crap with CSS. Does anybody know how to do shading? Off the top of their head?
Shit.
Yeah, what's it? Shadow,
box
that's
shadow.
what it is. Box shadow, that's what it is. Box shadow. Let's see. Box shadow examples. To the bottom. It's not open. Let's do this. Yeah, I like with CSS, I always Google everything. Let's see what that does. Back. Yeah, that looks good. Makes it look not there. Okay, and then what I have to do is when this is toggled, when this is true, I need all these posts to be blurred out, right? So I need to pass in this toggle. I'm gonna pass this into the as a prop. So now I'm gonna, where is this? This is in post. Oh, is it post I want to put it in? No. Yeah, it's post. Good. So I'm gonna go to post. Okay. And then I'm gonna blur all the things out. So I need to make this a class name. And so this is just gonna be single post. Okay. In fact, I don't know why I did that. Wow, that's way big small. Okay. Single post. So now I need to import this. Import post.css. Cool. Awesome. Let's make that smaller and then bring this over here. And so single post. That single post. And then there is a property for blur. Blur out background. Let's see what it is. Background filter. It's going to be filter blur. Cool. So filter, let's just see if it works. Let's do blur. Let's do 10 pixels. See what that does. Cool. That's exactly what we want. But obviously not yet. Okay. So dash blur. Cool. Now it's not. When we go here, where is it? It's in post. So whenever we toggle, so I want to make this a function. So I'm going to put this in square braces. And then I'm going to do if, go ahead and toggle in. So A or E. So this is true. I want it, let's just do false for now. Oh, cannot control this. Let's do false. That's what it's set up. Or make it, let's just make a whole property called blur. Blur. Okay. And then here, instead, we're gonna take that out. Make this a class name. So we can style it later. There's obviously a way you can do it without doing it like this, but that's not what I'm gonna do. So when I add, this doesn't do anything. Let's see. Should work. Let's see. So not this. What do I call it? Or that's why. Cool. Or that's why. Add should work. No. I think it might be because I need this first. No, does not work. All right, let's just have this, this, and see, I knew it was going to break. All right, does anybody see any issues why this would not be working? Does anybody see any issues? I'm asking. I don't know why it's not working. I can't figure it out.
Trying to cover.
What? No, I'm just trying to blur out the background when I toggle this. So it should be working because I'm passing it as props. The toggle, it toggles it. Make this a little bigger, smaller. So when I click add, which is on, should be on post display.
I've never personally.
Okay. Anyways,
Can I use you?
well, it's a blur is working. I'm just not able to get it to toggle because look at. Trying to figure out my code. Yeah, I'll just do some inline styling. I think it's because I'm passing it to this one. I'm going to put it on this. Maybe this class name. I'm going to call this blur. One second. Sorry, guys. This is on post display. Port. That's off. Blur. Okay, let's try this now. It's broken. All right, let's try this. I don't know why it's not working, but whatever. Let's not worry about it. not wanting to update, but that's fine. It could look like this. This looks good. All right, cool. So now that we have that, let's clean this up. Okay. So we have post has an edit and delete button. We have not had any of those. So we're able to add, we're able to get post. Now we need to be able to edit and delete. Let's start off the delete first. I think it'll be a little easier. Oh, a lot easier. On click. What we're going to do with an on click is we're going to run a function that will make an Axios call. So first, we're going to create the function, just name it. Let's get it off props. We'll have it on the front end. So it's going to be delete post. And what it's going to pass in, it's going to need an argument, is the ID. So we already have that up there. Let's go ahead and just put this up here. Get rid of this since we're not using this right now. And then on our post display, where this is where that is, we're going to put right here equals this dot delete the post. Okay, and then we're going to make this a function. I did it twice, huh? Yeah. It's going to be delete post, delete post. Takes in the ID, since that's what we already called it. Makes an Axios call, dot delete. And the Axios call is, like I said, pretty simple. We know what it is because of how we named it. More obvious and simple, the better. And all we need is a parameter. We do not need the body. Okay, so it's /API /post /ID. But we need to put in an actual value. So let's put this in template string so we can put in a value. The value is going to be $$ and then it's going to be ID. And the dot then, and we know each one of our functions pass back the whole array of posts. So we just need to set state when we get the results, the response. It's dot set state. And so posts will equal res dot data. Cool. It's pretty simple. So we have it right here in post display. We're interacting with this. We need to make it an arrow function, so it's bound to this one. And then we take this, we're passing it through props. Let me clean this up a little so it's easier to read. Okay, cool. Okay, we can get rid of this for now. It didn't work. So we have some props here. Delete post is the prop. We go to post, and that's where we're running this function. All we have to do is pass in the ID, which we're getting because we're mapping over all of these posts. So technically, I could pass in the ID here, but we're just getting it off of this because we're passing in posts. So we have it right here. So it's going to make, so since we have 20 posts, it's going to make 20 iterations of this component. So this component is going to be repeated 20 times. And each one of these values are going to be unique to its own specific component. And so ID is going to change for each one. And so this function is going to be unique for every single component because the ID is different. Okay, so when we run that, it should hypothetically work. So let's test it out. So let's do this one. Got an error. Reference S is not defined at delete post. Huh. Get an error here. We got a 500 internal server area. So that's good. We hit the API. The API is fine. It's what we're doing within our controller. That's what 500 means. It's whatever we're doing after we hit the API. So it's saying controller JS 14. So let's open up our controller. That's the first bug we've had. 14.